What's up from the Northeast? So today I've got another C88 machining product. It is a side lever drop down cocking lever. God, why does everything gotta be so ridiculously long when you're speaking, right? Being on video makes it worse. Anyway, I've already got a side lever on here that I like, but this one's a little more sleek, it's a little less bulky, and the drop down is actually quite a bit longer. So we're going to install this. I've had a few guys ask how to do this, so I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to try this out for a little while and see how I like it. So stick around, and I'm going to teach you how to swap out your lever on your Notos. Let's go. So you're going to need some Allen wrenches, a punch set, and that's about it. So let's get started on removing. We're going to remove this rear rail first, and those screws are 2mm. Get that up and out of the way. Alright, next we're going to take off the grip adapter. I believe those are both 2.5. Remember, when you remove your grip adapter, you do have a trigger spring that can go flying, so be careful. Screw in the back here. This is my buckrail grip adapter. I mean, it is, as far as I'm concerned, it's probably the best modification you can do for your Notos. Alright. Now we're going to slip that off, and we're going to try to be careful not to lose the spring, and the spring stayed in place. Perfect! Alright. Now, we're going to have to remove the hammer spring out of there. Just that flathead somewhere. There it is. Oop. Get your hammer spring out, dump your weight if you've got one, and set that aside so it doesn't get lost. Alright, now we have a pin right there that's got to come out. Then that will slide right out. Correction. Got to get this, there's a screw in here. To be, I'll tell you in a second. God, I feel like that's 2.5. Nope, must be 3. Alright. Where is my 3? That's a 3.5. That's, yeah, it's definitely a 3mm. Alright, so that screw inside that holds your bolt probe is 3mm. Get that out real quick. And just be careful, because you do have a little metal washer on there. Alright, now we're going to tap out this little dowel out of there so we can get the rest of this out. And that's going to come right through here, and then you have another access hole at the bottom of the block. And that shouldn't give you too much resistance to get out. Now that'll slide right out. Don't lose this brass piece. And now we're going to have to pound that pin out. Get this stuff out of the way. Bring in our block. With all of these little pins, one side has teeth, one side doesn't, so you're going to want to punch it out from the smooth side. We don't want to bend anything, so I'm going to try to set this up as evenly as possible. All right. We got our new cocking handle. And we're just going to replace that pin in the new one. Remember, we're going to go smooth side down. Get that started with your fingers. And then we'll just tap it on in. Easy as that, guys. All right. Bring our block and gun back. Now, if you did it, that pin probably stayed in the block right there, which is a good thing. Insert your brass piece and try to keep it lined up with the holes. Kind of a pain in the butt. If you're having too much trouble, just use a little bit of silicone grease and that'll do you. Insert your bolt probe. And this is kind of a pain in the butt because it's not like machined perfectly to fit snug, so you just gotta kind of get it lined up. So I've got mine lined up, so now I'm going to push that pin back in from the bottom. Just like so. Now I'm going to make sure it's all the way seated. My punches aren't that long, so I'll just use an Allen key to kind of snug it back in there. And we will get our hammer carrier, hammer weight, and hammer spring back in because this retention nut actually holds that dowel in place. Screw that back in. All right, now you're just gonna put all your stuff back the way it was, and I already made a mistake, so now I gotta go backwards. I forgot to put the bolt probe screw back in, so I'm gonna pause the video, do that real quick, and bring it back. All right, I'm back. So before, you're going to want to put that bolt probe bolt back in before you put your hammer, carrier, and spring and everything back in, because that has to sit in front of that. Excuse me. So that's done. Now all we have to do is put our grip adapter back on. Make sure you line your trigger spring up in your sear. I like to take a little bit of silicone oil or grease and just put a little bit in the spot where the spring sits so it stays put. And then just line that up. Put our front spring back in. Remember, these are 2.5. Put the rear one back in without dropping it. Snug those up. Now we will put our pick rail back on. And these were 2mm. And then we can put our drop down lever on, and that's it. And I'm already liking the way this is looking. I'm not sure if I want to go silver or black. I have two different ones. Your screw is inside of there. I believe that is a 2.5. Yes. So that's a 2.5, and you're going to go in from the bottom to put this in. All right. That's it, boys. I do really like that. Very clean, a lot longer. You get a little more grip on that. All right. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. I hope God blesses all of you and your families. I hope everything you need in this life comes to fruition, and I hope you're all absolutely killing it at life. Later.